Hey everyone, this is Chala Dinkoy, CEO and founder of the Repositioning Expert, welcoming you to another Tuesday tea time with Chala. I'm having my tea in this double shelled, amazing new glass that I have. I can hold it even if it's hot, and it's not today, but usually it's scalding hot. But I can hold it on the outside, and it is nice and warm on the inside. Mm. So today, I have to be jiffy quick, you guys. It is International Women's Day today. Congratulations to all the women and those who want to be women or whoever think of themselves as women, and especially entrepreneurs. So I have to be jiffy quick because I'm taking Logan to the dentist and I have to do this. And then tonight I'm super nervous and preparing for to be, presented as an inspirational woman in our community. And so thank you. But I'm super nervous because I don't do presentations in a foreign language usually. So even though it's my mother tongue, I have to do a short presentation about my life story, which, yay. I don't know how entertaining and inspirational that's going to be. But let's get to the International Women's Day Entrepreneur SOS. So, for those of you who don't even really recognize that word, it's save our souls, meaning, we need help, SOS. So I Wikipedia'd International Women's Day, where did it come from, how did it start, and of all places, it was started in 1911. Oh my God. Do you remember 1911? Obviously, from books and movies, what women's rights were like back then. So Socialist Party of America started it, and then it was adopted in 1977, a year I can get behind, where I was actually alive, by the UN. So, and it's been actively celebrated. So when I look at, and so today is that day, and in honor of that day, I decided to look at the women entrepreneurship hardships and talk about some advice for them. So how are we doing as women entrepreneurs? Well, all my stats are in the US because all my business and clients are in the US, even though I'm in Canada. But if you look at 2022 stats, 42%, like 1 out of 4 of all US companies are owned by women. So that's not so bad. Now they generate $1.8 trillion, and women started more businesses in 2020 than men. And unfortunately, that whether they were employed or self-employed, COVID disproportionately negatively affected more women-owned businesses such as hospitality, retail, beauty, and so on. So that's the state of the nation. So how are we doing as a whole as women entrepreneurs in business, in the market? And there are still some challenges. So I looked at what are those challenges. And so the first one that comes up whenever you talk to any woman entrepreneur who is trying to grow her business is funding. So and the numbers are really horrific around this, but a company called Crunchbase found that only 2.3% of venture capital actually goes to women, and only 2% of woman-owned businesses actually make it to $1 million revenue. And that's 3.5 times less than men who have $1 million businesses. So the solution for this lack of funding by the banks and the VCs is alternate sources. So there are grants, and those fall into government grants or private grants. And then there's crowdfunding. So there's GoFundMe, Kickstarter, Indiegogo, and the good part about the crowdfunding is also it serves as your litmus test of market viability, and also it serves as your advertising. So the challenge number 2 for women entrepreneurs on this beautiful, gorgeous International Women's Day is perceptions. And I'll tell you a very quick story is that one of my best clients that I love actually gave me feedback that one of his sales reps that I'm working with the whole company in a good way, had said that he was feeling challenged by me. So, and the client's interpretation was, hey, could that be gender biased? And I thought, personally, when I thought of that, I said, I don't think it's gender biased. I think anybody who would have, challenged that person would have gotten the same sort of pushback or perception. And there wasn't really a pushback, but it just made me think twice, because I'm just so, myself. And I've been that way in my corporate life. I've been that way with, I mostly work with women entrepreneurs, but also, male entrepreneurs. It doesn't really matter. But I'm just being me. And the perception is that, it's a tough demeanor. So challenge number two, and all sorts of research also is in agreement that the perceptions of being a professional or having a hard line could be construed as aggressive or unnerving. And so the workaround for that is, what we do with clients is we work on communications and perceptions and communication styles. And then we talk a lot about mindset and self-talk, and a lot of what goes on inside of, oh, how am I being perceived? Oh, is this, and I had this early on in my career, is that I was really worried about being perceived that way. But through the kind of self-talk and mindset work, I learned that I attract who I am, and I attract the kind of clients who want that kind of straight talk. So, and who want to get the work done, and who want to achieve and get things done. So it's all about, self-talk, self-soothing, and then learning about communication styles. Okay. Challenge number three is the work-life balance. So stats show that 18% of stay-at-home parents there are 18% of the population are stay-at-home parents, and most of them are women. So and if you are an entrepreneur, then there's the perception that you're working mad hours because you have to get the business off the ground, and you're working for yourself. So there's no other income coming in unless your spouse works. So the work-life challenge continues to remain an issue. Now, my solution to that is, of course, having strategic planning from the start allows you to go out and get the right target of clients and say the right things to them, so that you accelerate the business end of making money. The other point is, with the proper coaching and with the proper strategy, you price at a higher price point than your competitors, so that you're working less hours, but you're making more money. So all of these have to do with mindset issues. All of these have to do with strategy. And all of this has to be taught to you by someone, because while I worked for 18 years for a corporation, I still had to hire really expensive coaches to learn how to set up a business, and how to charge high fees, and how to have the mindset to be an entrepreneur. I did not know that. I knew how to do marketing, but I didn't know how to sell it. And I certainly didn't know how to have a thriving business. So those are some of the ways that you can manage the work-life balance, is that, stop the low prices, work fewer hours, stop throwing spaghetti at the wall and losing time by trying to figure out the strategy, and yet, hire someone to tell you exactly what to do step by step. And this ties in very nicely with the challenge number 4, which is 48%, almost half of women entrepreneurs have no advisor, and they need one. And so the lack of coaching here's the mentality that I used to have, is that I'll get it when I can afford it. I'll get it at a low level that I can afford, which is in a group or online. Or the next one was, if I can't get it from the horse's mouth, I'll get it from peers who are, semi-successful or successful in their own fields through masterminds and groups and memberships. And it just never panned out for me. So the solution is, again, I had to fix my mindset around hiring the best, so that I can, increase my business, increase my rates, increase my just momentum. And of course, I had to hire someone just to fix my mindset, but I had to rip through that fear of uncertainty to be able to hire the best and the highest priced, and the person who was making the people. And I've hired so many, but people who are way ahead of me, making the kind of money that I wanted to, and now that I do, and because I was able to hire those people. So do whatever you need to do, save up, borrow, beg, steal. I'm not going to say steal, but fix your mindset to hire the best. So those are my tips and tricks and some entrepreneur SOS for women entrepreneurs on the International Women's Day. I really, really hope you have a wonderful one. Treat yourself to a tea. Here's my little cup again, and have a good day, and see you next week. Take care.